We are Witches Who Podcast.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, Dee.
Anything weird happened to you lately?
So I had this crazy dream that's actually been replaying. Super, like replaying, but like different. Okay, so I'll just dive into it. So obviously I'm obsessed with spooky stuff and ghosts and poltergeists. So I had this dream where it was like me and my mom and my sister were on vacation somewhere, and like somewhere really fancy. Like we were in this Airbnb that was like just crazy nice, like huge, like stone, like architecture. Like it gave me like Mediterranean, like kind of not quite Spanish style, but like Mediterranean vibe. You know what I mean?
Are you talking White Lotus?
Kind of. Totally. Totally. And big, huge pools, like sprawling, like all around. Super weird. Okay. And so we get there and it's just us three, the three girls, me, my mom, and my sister. And we're just kind of looking around. It's a really weird layout of a house. It's like really long and skinny, and the rooms are like really stacked. And there's like long hallways with a bunch of bedrooms off of it, and then like a kitchen, and then like a huge like living space that leads to the outside with a huge pool. It's up on a hill, kind of isolated. And then there's like a guest house that's kind of set down in a way, but you can kind of see the roof of it from some of the bedrooms. And every bedroom has its own bathroom and everything. They're like all like master suites, and there's like a bunch of rooms. So we all decide we're going to sleep in separate rooms. We're picking our own rooms and all this stuff. And so I picked like kind of the first one as you're going down the hallway on the left-hand side. And then my sister's room is the next one. And then my mom's was the one straight at the end of the hallway. So we're all kind of like in this little place, and we all put our stuff down. And then all of a sudden all our husbands start showing up later. So my husband, Holly's, and my dad all show up later, and it was like nighttime by this point, and they're talking about dinner. We ate dinner, and the whole time I just like could tell something was really off. Like we were interacting, but we weren't like, it was just odd. Like it was eerie. Like it was like we were kind of going through the motions. Like it didn't feel like anybody was super present with each other. It was really strange. And so then it's like time to kind of go to sleep, and my husband's there, and he's, for some reason, he doesn't want to go to bed yet, but I'm like, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed. So I go into our room, and I close the door, and the bathroom door is like a little bit open. And I was looking at it for a second, and then it just closes all by itself. These are my dreams. And then I was like, oh, okay, like we're going to play with a haunted house. That's why it feels so weird. Our house is haunted. And I was like, is somebody here with me? If you are, open the door. And the door opens. And this is all in my dream, you know? This is the crap I dream about. Like, and I was like stoked in my dream. I'm like, oh, sweet. Like, this is happening. And so I'm like, awesome. Like, you know, I'm cool. You're cool. Like, you know, as long as we can coexist here, we're good to go. Right. So I wasn't scared or anything, didn't think anything of it. And I go to sleep, and then it's the next day, and I asked my mom, my sister, I was like, hey, do you notice anything, you know, weird about this house? Like anything weird happened last night? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? And I was like, this house is haunted, like straight up. And my mom's like, don't say that. Why are you always saying creepy stuff like that? Which is totally what would happen in, you know, in real life. And so I was like, okay, but I'm just telling you, like my door's opening and closing. Like that wasn't an accident. Like the door doesn't just unclick it. No way. And she's like, no, that's impossible. And so I'm like, fine, let's go in there and let's check. And for some reason, all of a sudden it was nighttime again. And so we go in there, and I'm like, hey, I brought friends this time. Like, can you show me that you're here? And the door's slamming open and open and closing, open and closing, open and closing constantly. And then the lights start flickering. And I'm like, okay, like that's a little much. Like
Don't show off.
Please, like calm down. Like it's okay. And then I started to get nervous, and I was like, uh-oh. Like I opened up a door I wasn't supposed to open, and then the door behind us slammed shut. And then we, all three of us, and then it's just us girls again, jump into the bed, and we're all like, oh my God, what do we do? The bathroom door's going crazy. The lights are flickering on and off. This door behind us slammed. We're like, we got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, please stop. Like, please stop. Like, this is not what I asked for. Like, we were cool. What happened? And it just wouldn't stop. And then there was like a robe on the door that kept swinging back and forth, like on the bathroom door because it was being closed so many times, and it flew off. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, we got to get out of here. So nobody wanted to get out of the bed. I'm like, we're stuck in here. Yeah. So I go and I try to like open the door, and I can't open the door. It's like locked from the outside. And I'm like pulling it, and it won't open. And I look back at them, and my sister is like white, like freaked out. My mom's like, what do we do now? I'm like, I guess we take a stand. I don't know. Like, so I like stand up and I'm like, stop this now. And then everything kind of quieted and the door to the outside kind of popped open. And I was like, okay. And I looked at them, I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of this house right now. Like, and we just ran out of there and like screaming. It was like, we're leaving right now. Like, leave all of our stuff.
Like
we don't even need any of our stuff. Forget it. And then we leave and we go into the guest room, the guest house, because it's apparently we don't have a car or whatever. So we couldn't leave. It was, I don't even know.
Like old horror movies.
Yes.
You can't
seriously
really get out.
And all the boys were just in the living room like, oh, what are they doing? Like, the one doing their own thing. I'm like, and we're over here trying to be like, we need to get out of here. Like, you're going to die. Like, this is bad. This place is bad. And they wouldn't listen. So we're like, forget it. We left them in there with all of our stuff. And we just left into the guest room or the guest house. And then I woke up because I had to pee. So I don't know what happened after that. But then the next night I dreamed that we were back in that guest house.
You picked up dream.
Like
you weren't done.
right off.
Okay.
It was so weird.
The next night you said?
Yeah. The very next night I went to sleep and we were back in the guest house.
Oh, so you're in the guest house. So you didn't even,
Not in the main house.
It left you where you left off.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm in the guest house, which is like basically just a smaller version of the other house. And it sits further down. Like, so the main house you have to look up to. And so I'm like, okay, the boys are still over there. And I'm talking to my sister. I'm like, what are we going to do? We got to get out of
nighttime
here.
or daytime?
It's daytime at this point. So I walk outside and I'm like, I'm not going back in there. So I'm like trying to call Christian. He's not answering the phone, of course. And I'm like, well, all my stuff's in there. My toothbrush is in there. Like, what do I do? I'm like, you know what? I tell my mom and sister, I'm like, it's fine. Like, we need to just go get our stuff and be done with this. Like, this is ridiculous. Let's not let this thing rule us, like, make us scared. So I go back in there and they're all dead.
Oh,
all three of them. No wonder they're not answering the phone. And not like, wasn't bloody.
Chill.
I know. What a dream. Like, and they were all in the same spot they always were, like on the couch. No blood, no nothing. Just dead. Like they had been there for forever.
Men did not listen.
How weird is that? Like they were like cold, like blue. Like they literally died of old age and just sat like were just there. Like it was so weird. I'm like, what? Like I'm like snapping in their faces. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like so confused and like this isn't real. Like there's no way this is actually happening. Like this has to be fake, right? Yeah. And so then I go to walk down the hallway and I go in my room and Christian's asleep in bed. Totally fine.
Was it an illusion?
I don't know. I'm like, how were you dead? All three of you dead on the couch a second ago. And now you're asleep in bed. So I'm like waking him up. I'm like, are you okay? He goes, yeah, what are you talking about? I'm like,
your corpse is out there.
I'm like, come look at your dead body on the couch. And we go out there and nothing's there. He's like, are you okay? I'm like,
are you okay?
I saw like this happened. Everybody was there. I'm like, where's my dad?
But your mom and Holly saw them too, right?
No, they were still in the guest house.
They were still in the guest house. It was just you. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, craziest freaking dream ever. Yeah. And so then I'm like, where's my dad? Where's Brandon? Like, what is going on? And so he's like, they're probably asleep too. It's like 2:00 in the morning. And I'm like, what?
It was daytime.
It was daytime when I walked in.
What's up in the house? It's only nighttime.
It's only nighttime in the house. It's so weird. And like that was all I could remember. And then I woke up again, probably because I had to pee. And and then I don't think it was the next night, but like a couple days later, I popped right back into this dream. And it was the same house, but I was standing outside looking in, like looking like bird's eye view.
To the main side?
To the main house. Yeah. So it's like a driveway down to the main house and then another driveway down to the guest house. And I'm looking at it. There's no cars. It looks really quiet and eerie. And I'm just kind of standing there. It's like cloudy, like gray in the sky. And I'm looking down the driveway and I'm like, what is this place? Like, I was like, I'm not going in there. Like, there's no reason for me to be here again. Like, as far as I know, my family is safe and fine. So why am I here? And that's when I started, I haven't done this in a really long time, making decisions in my dream again. So I was lucid dreaming. So I took control of the dream and I very consciously remember looking at that house and like, I put my hands up and I'm like, I'm just going to seal this place off so that I just saw like a weird little light. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was weird.
I was like,
it's the dream.
Yeah, coming out.
That was weird. I wonder if we could see it on the video. Check it.
I wonder. No, I thought it was because we have the window open and the light
Like a
come in
reflection?
and, yeah.
No way.
Okay.
That was
I
not.
like,
That was like
it caught,
that was
it just
weird.
caught the corner of my eye. It was weird.
That was
like,
really
wait.
weird. But anyways, so I'm looking down at the house and I was like putting up my hands, like I'm sealing this property off, like nothing bad can come out of it. Whatever is in there just has to stay there. And I was like, because I don't think I had the power to be able to like banish whatever demon was in that freaking house. And so I remember doing that. And then I remember turning away and trying to walk away and I couldn't walk. Oh, like I was just stuck there. And I was like, okay, I'm not done. So I turned around and I kept on doing it. And then I was like, and then I took my hands and I like scooped underneath my feet, like I'm breaking barriers kind of thing. And then I was able to walk away. And then I just like kind of did that jump thing where you like jump really far and just like jumped off and it was like, take me back to somewhere else where I needed to be. It was so weird. And then I woke up and I was fine.
Oh, I wonder who got stuck in their field.
Who's stuck in that house. So
That is
weird, right?
For like consecutive.
Yes, it was like three nights where I just kept going back to that same creepy ass house.
Wow.
And I wonder like where it is. Like I
Yeah.
think it's a real place.
Probably.
Yeah.
It sounds like
I
it.
want to go on Airbnb and just like scroll.
Oh, I
see
know.
if I can
Endless.
find it. Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll have eerie houses on, Airbnb, Airbnb, and it'll give you, at least I'll narrow it down a little bit. Like Tuscan inspired eerie houses around the world. Who knows?
Yeah. Super weird. And I didn't get this sense that I was like in a faraway country. Like I felt like it was like a local, like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it felt like wine country. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Napa.
Oh,
yeah. Like that kind of
okay.
area. That's what I feel.
All right.
Super weird.
Oh, man. You have to tell us if suddenly you find it.
Find the
and
house.
then like something happened in that
Oh my
house.
God. So, oh my gosh, right?
Yeah, and you hear like this super creepy story. A similar story. 3 people dead and they just don't know. They just imagine that.
That would be so creepy. Oh, if anybody
Doors
knows, send
broken.
us an email. Apparently
it's
I
a
dreamed
perfect segue for today. I think.
right? This is
Dang.
a dream, artificial.
Oh, yeah.
This didn't happen that we know of.
Well, it
Could have happened, but it
in
didn't
the
happen to
dream
me.
space. So yeah, no, that's creepy.
Isn't that gnarly?
I know, that's crazy.
So I'll keep you posted. I've been having some wild dreams. So
So I'm all hooked, and that was like, I want to know what happens next.
right, it's a good story.
It is a good story. But anywho, everyone, hello. I am Dee.
Oh, that's right. I'm Shelby, and we are Witches Who Podcast. And guess what? Today is a listener stories episode.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Me too. So these are real stories that happen to people,
Yes.
not dreams.
Yeah, not dreams. These are real spooky stories, loving stories, paranormal stories. And we're so excited. So if you have any creepy or spooky or paranormal story or just strange that you want to share with us, we would love to hear from you.
Please.
Yes. All right. Do you want to
kick it off. Yeah.
Oh, I kick it off?
You kick it off.
All right. So I am going to, we're going to begin with one story from our friend Donna. She's an incredible, she's all into nature. So these stories, I haven't read them all because I wanted to be surprised. I wanted to see what happens. So she sent a couple of stories. So the first one is one summer, I spent several weeks with my sister helping her out with my niece and nephews. During the day, I would be home alone while the adults were working and the kids were at daycare. I was downstairs watching TV when all of a sudden the 3-bedroom doors upstairs slammed shut, talking about slamming doors, slammed shut at the same time. It was scary, but I figure a window must have been open or something. I walk upstairs, open the doors one at a time and check the bedroom windows, but none were open. I quickly walk downstairs and begin doing some of the chores given to me. While cleaning a mirror in the, it's giving me the chills and I haven't, while cleaning a mirror in the bottom bedroom / kids room that faced French doors, I saw a petite doll color figure walk down the hallway. I quickly turned around, but saw nothing. I was too spooked to stick around all by myself and left to wait in a nearby park until the kids were out of their summer daycare. Later, I asked my niece, who's 5 years younger than me, about about any weird occurrences at the house, and she confirmed the house is haunted.
Oh my gosh.
And nobody told her. It's like, come
That's
on, let me
messed
help you.
up.
I know. Come and help. We're not going to tell her it's haunted, so she can just come.
That
How
is so creepy. It's almost like it wanted her to come upstairs too.
I know.
Like by slamming all the doors at the same time. It was like luring her up there and she's like, okay. Oh my gosh. And then she goes back downstairs, she starts to clean. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then it shows us in the mirror too. In the mirror. Of course, the mirror.
On the bottom, it's like,
oh yeah, I would have got my
figure.
ass out of there too.
All right. So that was one. And then she shared another one.
Okay.
All right. So this one is one of my favorite hikes is at a less than a 10-minute drive from my house. So I'm there pretty often. One day while hiking alone, I was about to cross the creek like I normally do. But as I look up, a large werewolf figure was standing on the other side of the creek. It looked as real as anything else there. The water, the plants, the rocks. I screamed and shut my eyes. A second later, when I opened them, the figure was gone. Since I was young, my grandmother always said I must have been a dog in a past life because of the connection I have with the canines. This figure might be a guide of sorts. Unfortunately, I haven't seen him since, but I do talk to him in case he's listening.
Oh my God. That is a good story. Because I can totally visualize like this trail.
Yeah.
And just standing there, she paints a good picture. She's walking up, about to cross the creek, looks over, and there's just this hulking dog-like figure. Oh my God.
My goodness.
That would be
she's
so
always
scary.
And I was always wondering about stories of hers because she it's like a director in this Creek Conservatory.
Yeah.
So she's always out in the field and doing, connecting with nature, and she has such deep connection. And I was like, weird things must happen, like the elementals just popping up for her.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, but her first one with the that one was really the one with the werewolf, of course,
I have so many
connection.
questions about that too. Like, you shut your eyes and it was gone. Like, what if it like attacked you? Like, and you close your eyes and what did you?
At least you didn't see it coming if she closed her eyes.
I guess so. Oh my gosh. Like I'm sure she's gone there since then, but yeah, she said she did, right? Then she talks to it and she's just listening. Oh, I'm so curious. Like,
I know.
Doesn't sound like she was like scared. She was just kind of like
shocked for a second. No, absolutely.
Which I can relate to, like with guides that have showed themselves where I'm like not ready to see them. I'm like, oh, you're creepy and scary.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't scary, but that's wild though. That's super interesting. Now I want to go werewolf hunting. I'm also curious. So I'm assuming it was during the day.
Yeah, I'm thinking. She didn't say, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm wondering like what the moon phase was.
She said one day while hiking alone, day, not night. And that is creepy.
That is super creepy.
I do love it though.
That was good. Those are good. Two good stories. Thanks, Donna.
Yay, Donna, send us more.
I'm going to be constantly like looking around for werewolves and stuff.
Because I'm pretty sure I know where she was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know where she was.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, next time we're there.
Yeah.
Any friends of Donna around here?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
She's been meaning to see you again. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I picked two stories that are actually mother and daughter. So it's really fun because I got Michaela's story first. And then I got her mom, Holly's story second. And they kind of like, they're not the same story, but they kind of butt up to each other. Okay. So it's super interesting. Okay. So this one is called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Oof. I know, right? All right. This is from Michaela. And she goes, hola, mis amigas. I'm so excited to watch you two do your thing and can't wait to see where life takes you. Okay. On to the real shit, if that's why we're here. I love that. Okay. So this is story number one. So there's two stories. And I'm going to read them back to back and then I'll let you go and then I'll read the last one.
Okay.
All right. So scary story number one from Michaela. My friend and I, we'll call her Tasha for these stories, were sophomores in high school when we began exploring the Illuminati. As 14 and 15-year-olds do, and stumbled upon some really creepy shit with Kanye West songs. So, specifically when you play them in reverse. One night at Tasha's apartment, our other friend Amy and I kept playing his songs in reverse, trying to hear the subliminal messages woven in. I was spooked to my core, but would never admit that to them for fear of being a total dweeb. Tasha had an old digital camera with a flash, and we thought it would be a really great idea to take photos in the dark in her bedroom to see if anything out of the ordinary would show itself. Bad idea. All caps. Bad idea. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love the suspense.
Yes.
Fresh off Kanye's creepy songs, the energy was ripe for low-level entities to appear. We'd take turns photographing each other while making specific hand symbols and say weird shit. After a few rounds of photographing, we finally went back to look at some of the images. What we found was vomitous. Oh, what a word. In some of the images, you could clearly see a dark, misty shadow forming in the corner of the bathtub shower area next to me. In others, you can make out faces and said shadows. At one point, we took a selfie and it looked like someone else was standing behind us. Oh, at this point, we were all thoroughly freaked the fuck out and got the hell out of her bathroom. The energy was so gross and heavy that I never wanted to return. I didn't know what proper cleansing was at this point, but you bet your sweet bippy I was praying to the God I was so desperately trying to reject. Moral of the story, stick to white magic, love, and light, and don't mess around with things I know nothing about.
Oh, dang. Ooh. Yeah, you can't. No, no.
Yeah, I like that last sentence. Like, don't mess around with things I know nothing about. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's also like how you start into all different kinds of things, right? You can start messing with shit you don't know about. And I think like there's something to be said about intention and white magic, but it's so easy to like, so take that slide because right, you get results, and that's validating. Yeah,
but it's like dark magic works really fast, and but it's very depleting. It takes power from the person instead of like channeling source energy and not pulling. So, not that's cool.
So gnarly.
That is crazy.
Like gnarly. Everybody, all of them have such gnarly attachments. So time to go do. I mean, this was a long time ago now, but deep cleanses.
She's probably still cleaning energy from back.
Probably still trying to get these creepy Kanye vibes off. Oh my gosh.
And I remember that like back in the, the early 90s where you would play them backwards.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. And I think it was because of Spy Kids. Do you remember that that movie that came out and you would play that creepy song backwards and it was like telling the kids. I watched that recently and I was like, this is really, there's like torture, like all this demonic stuff. I'm like, how on earth was this a kid's movie?
It's,
like back then I had no clue. I was like, whatever, like this is so good. Now I'm like, this is insane. Yeah. Like who let me watch this?
Yeah. It was a kid's movie. That's like, there was kids playing the part that,
It's so weird.
It's rated PG. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or general. Oh,
so crazy.
That is crazy. Oh, yeah. I
know. All right. Okay. So her next story, scary story number 2. One evening, as a ghost adventures obsessed teen, my friend Tasha and I stayed up.
This friend Tasha. Yeah, I'm telling you. Hopefully she cleaned that bathroom.
Yeah, right. All right. My friend Tasha and I stayed up till about midnight to perform a seance. She knew my house was haunted. Okay, so now they're at her house.
Okay.
Michaela's house. She knew my house was haunted and was just as curious as I was about making contact with the ghosties. I suggested we turn off all the lights and only light one candle to sit between us. So here we are, sitting in the middle of my living room, crisscross applesauce, holding hands, and a single candle illuminated between us. Ooh. What imagery? Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I can just see it too. Just dark. Their face underlit. Ooh, by that candle. All right.
And all the ghosts gathering.
They're like, no clue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're already there.
Yeah. It's like, somebody turn on the lights. We can see each other. Not them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Placed beside me, I have one of those flashlights that require you to manually turn the bottom to turn it on and off. Okay, so you like twist it on and off. We opened up by introducing ourselves and jumped straight into the classic, if you're there, please make a noise. With both my parents asleep down the hall, we are managing to stay fairly quiet. Then we start hearing footsteps on the wood floor of my kitchen. Tasha squeezes my hand tightly in response to the noise. I proceed with, if that's you, can you please make another noise? A bang on the wall. Another tight hand squeeze. Then I suggest, if that was you, can you please turn on this flashlight? The wall in front of me is immediately illuminated by the flashlight that was just turned on by an unseen force. Tasha squeezes my hand so tight I thought I'd lose it, but I couldn't risk waking my parents. That would almost be scarier than anything else we'd face. Almost. I am in disbelief at the response we get and take it a step further by prompting, please turn off the flashlight. And just like that, we're shrouded in darkness again. Only visible light is from the candle.
Oh
my God. Tasha releases my hands. So I'm reading this, but I can literally see this living room too. So, oh my God, it's so creepy. I've had experiences in their house too.
Okay. Never visiting Holly.
Holly has to, I told her she has to send me more stories because she has so many stories.
I can imagine.
Okay. Anyways, I'm in disbelief at the response we get and take it a step further. I already read that part. Turning off the flashlight. Tasha releases my hands and says she's scared and wants to stop. Being the avid Ghost Adventures follower, I have watched every single episode of Ghost Adventures. I know better than to proceed without properly closing out our session. So I say thank you and goodbye and start flipping on the lights. We notice the drapes are moving and hear a small crash by my great-grandfather's desk. One of the figurines of my mom's nativity set had been knocked over. This was the first of many sleepless nights I would endure. Pretty sure this opened a portal, and we are still dealing with activity to this day. Beloved witches, please give me some tips on how to close said portal and get rid of this shit. Blessings and abundance to you always and always, Michaela, a fellow female witch.
Oh, okay, Michaela. The way to close that portal is go back to being a teenager and don't do it.
Yeah. Go back in time and just don't do the thing.
Don't do the thing.
Holy
man.
crap, right?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so often people do things just playing around.
Totally.
You know?
I mean, I have a Ouija board in my garage right now that I had when I was a kid, and we played with it constantly.
Yeah, I think I may have mentioned it here, but I remember my friends were playing the Ouija board. I was not there. When I was like in high school, maybe junior high, at his house, and they were like messing with it and do this and do that and all the things. And so I was like, make the phone ring. And
oh my God,
the phone rang, and then it's like, well, maybe it's like somebody else, like somebody actually called.
Yeah,
and it's like, I believe they unplugged it, and it's like, make the phone ring, and it rang.
No, it was unplugged. Holy crap!
So it's just like, and after that, they like got rid of the Ouija board.
Oh my God!
I don't think the Ouija board stays.
I don't think you can get rid of them.
No,
I'm convinced.
I think you have to burn them, burn them to like see them be ashes.
Yeah.
And even then I would scatter the ashes in different places.
Yeah.
Probably.
Christian, we're like purging all the stuff in our house right now. So we're like, it's in the garage because when I had somebody stay over here to watch our dogs one time, he was freaked out because it was like I was like probably on my kitchen table. I just
Oh, you
put
had it there.
It was in the house. And he put it in the garage. He was like, why do you have this? What is wrong with you? Like, this is so creepy. I had to put it in the garage. He's like, I didn't want to touch it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Imagine he put it in the garage, and then the next morning he wakes up, it's in the kitchen.
It's back in the
Like,
kitchen. Yeah, right. I know. And then Christian, so we're like trying to get rid of stuff. And he's like, hey, like I'm at work, and he's like sending me pictures. It was like last weekend or something. And he's like, what can I get rid of? And I was like, well, not the Ouija board. He's like, you don't want me to throw away this toy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could throw it away, but that's not going to get rid of it.
It's going to come back. It's going to, I don't know, for as spooky as, I know Christian doesn't like ghosts or to admit of the, I don't know how you two are married, but, and he's, just probably about to bring some more energy like that into the house. But, and so with that said, like he jokes about it, like with the Ouija board, like just like why, I don't know, I would be like trying to get rid of it. So
I told him, I was like, you want to get rid of it, you're gonna have to light it on fire and we'll see if it burns. And he's like, that's not funny. I was like, just saying.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
I'm gonna go like fireproof it just so that when he tries to burn it, it won't.
Oh my gosh, I told Mike, talking about Ouija boards, I told Mike what Deb wants to do, what your mom wants to do when she dies. like to have the little Ouija board. It's like, hey, let's stay in touch. I love that. I was like, I'm gonna need to do like need to like a pendulum or something to give to my people, just because
that's such a
Ouija
good idea.
board. Yeah, the Ouija board is pretty funny though. That's like everybody, pretty much everybody
would get it.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, what is this crystal? And it's like, well, clearly you're not communicating with her.
Yeah, well, then
don't know.
You're not her people,
So
clearly.
you're not her people. Do you know how to use this? No, you can't talk to D. Do you know how to use this? Yes, you get to.
You get to. One for both hands.
Twice.
Oh my gosh.
That
This
is
is so
too
great.
funny. All right.
gosh,
So,
yes.
okay. Now I'm going to read a couple from Mary Beth. She is, okay. So it's another dear friend of ours. These are her Reiki experiences. Ooh. And do you want to tell people what Reiki is?
You can.
Oh, well, okay. Just in case people are like, when is Reiki? Okay, so Reiki is an energy healing practice that is like laying of the hands, but you actually don't touch people, and you work with a settled body to remove stagnant energy, pain, and so just working, and it cleanses the aura and the body and the energy fields.
I feel like it like really opens you up to like if that, I think also doing like a Reiki attunement or like starting to get into Reiki, if you're like trying to kind of open up spiritually, I think that's a great way to start with it, because it really like really opens up your everything.
Yep. I tell my clients, because I'm, I practice Reiki, and I tell them when I have new clients, I was like, your life is about to change after this, because it really removes any of the gunk and heaviness and doubts and things that are no longer in alignment with you out of your body, that are just kind of blocking you, moves them out. So, and it's like a perfect example would be like, if you're like, oh, I hate my job, I want to quit my job. Suddenly you may be laid off, or suddenly you just feel the urge, you cannot stand it, because you have been being nudged or pushed or shoved into making a different choice, a different decision. And same thing with partners, right? It's like, you're in a bad relationship, and you're just hanging because it's been, I don't know, 8 years or whatever, and you're just hanging there, but you're hating on each other, and then things get really bad, and you end up, getting out of that relationship, but it's for the best. At the end, everything is for the best. Yeah. We just humans are stubborn. We want to fight it all.
Yeah. We want to control everything instead of just surrender and let the universe and God take the reins. But it's so hard.
I know. So this is actually, these stories are really sweet, but also interesting, and some may say creepy. So it's her Reiki experiences. Mary Beth says, as a Reiki practitioner, I found myself working in an oncology clinic. Oh, gosh. One of my patients was a female, and as I was treating her, I felt the love that one often can only experience with a significant other. As part of my training, I would always ground myself before a session, allowing me to be a more neutral conduit for whatever the person on the table needed. After the session was over, the woman broke down crying, looked at me, and said, "Thank you." She went on further to tell me that she was a widow, and that she had had a beautiful vision on a raft on a still lake, and that her and her husband danced together on this raft. I was unaware that she was a widow prior to the session. I told her it was an honor and privilege, and I was so happy to have offered her the experience with her husband.
Oh my
so
God.
She had a good experience with her husband.
Oh my God, that's so cool. She like felt that like love come through. Like he was totally using Mary Beth to give her a message.
That connection.
Oh my God. And oncology, so she's cancer. So I mean, she's probably pretty close to the veil at that point, sadly. But wow. Oh, that's so heart-wrenching and warming all at the same time. Oh, how cool. What a gift.
I know. And then the other experience I had was from a personal one with a former boyfriend of mine. Ooh. He had invited me over for dinner one evening and had complained of lower back pain. I offered to do Reiki on him, and the sense that I felt through the session was the type of love that is unique to mother and child. I remained neutral, and after the session, he looked at me and said, "What the hell was that?" To which I respond, "I think that was your mother." His eyes filled with tears as he said that entire day while he was on preparing the dinner we were going to eat, that he had been thinking about his mother, her cooking, and he told me he had definitely felt her presence in the room during the session.
Oh my gosh, these are both so sweet.
I know. She is so sweet. She's such a sweet person, and just to facilitate this. And so the mother was already kind of like coming through and manifesting while they were even cooking. And then after they ate is when she was complaining of the low back pain. And she's like, hey, let's just do a session. And the mother just came right through.
I wonder if his back was hurting before this, or if his mother was just like, I'm going to throw some so that this happens, like kickstart this, like, so she'll open her channel so I can send a message.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh,
yeah. Oh
so
my gosh.
beautiful.
That's so sweet.
Okay. I'm pretty sure now we're going to finish it with
we're going to bring it home.
We're going to bring it home with a creepy. I had the, just, conduit loving one. So you had
so we had a palate cleanser with Mary Beth stories, and now we're gonna
well, that Tasha girl.
I know, right?
But then Michaela also just poor. I felt bad for Tasha at that moment.
I'm curious if Tasha's returned to Michaela's house.
Michaela, are you still friends with
Tasha? We need to know. Okay, so these next two. No, I think it's one or two. I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's one or two stories, but it kind of runs into each other. Is actually from Michaela's mom. So this is called The Night Visitor.
The Night Visitor.
The Night Visitor. And this is from Michaela's mom, Holly, who I've known this family my whole life. Holly and my mom are like very, very the bestest friends in the whole world. So Holly is like a mother figure to me. So it's so interesting.
No wonder Michaela doesn't fall far from the tree. Right?
No wonder she's ghost obsessed. So I can like hearing these stories, like I knew something was happening, but of course I was a little kid a lot of the time. So I was like, not really aware.
Wait, before you start. So do you ever do anything with Michaela? I know you guys weren't like the best of friends at the beginning.
Yeah,
right?
we have like a significant age gap. So we weren't really in school together.
But you never were doing any summoning any demons together.
I'm gonna now.
It's like, Holly, we're just here for the demons.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out here for the demons.
I'll take some iced tea.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so let's jump into it.
Okay.
So again, this is from Holly, called The Night Visitor. Hello, Dee and Shelby, and my nephew Tucker. Oh, Tucker's not here today. Tucker went to work. He's a working dog.
That Tucker is always busy.
Working real hard.
Yeah.
Got a full schedule. Yeah. Okay, she says, I'm loving the podcast so much. Oh, so sweet. Us too. I was so happy that you requested listener stories. I have so many stories to tell, but the one I chose to share today is a doozy and the scariest, most memorable to me. Oh, here it goes.
You just give me the chills and you haven't even started.
I love it so much. All right. My husband, kids, and I moved into our home in 2003. I knew right away that we weren't alone. Immediately, I started having feelings of being watched, seeing shadow figures in the hallway and hearing whispers. Okay, that alone, like that's the first part of the story. Like that alone is terrifying.
Yes.
You're seeing shadow figures in the hall? No, just no. Wow. Okay. All right, it gets better. One of our ghosts kind of looked like Abraham Lincoln. He was tall, slim, and wore a top hat. I would feel his presence every time I would do the dishes. He would loom behind me and watch. At first, it was unsettling, but it happened so often that I just got used to it. I eventually started talking to him, saying, "Hi, I know you were there. How are you? Why don't you help a girl out and do the dishes?" It became a thing between us. We are fast forwarding now to around 2011. Abraham the ghost and I are still vibing, enjoying our dishwashing time. Until one night, my youngest daughter, her friend, and her friends were having a sleepover. Her youngest daughter is Michaela. Oh. And I guarantee you this friend was probably the
Tasha girl.
Yeah.
Was it the same night they were doing something? Okay.
I want to find out. Okay. No, I think this is a different night.
Oh, yeah, because it's friends, not just one.
Yeah, so it's plural, friends. Okay, so they were having a sleepover. They decided it would be fun to do a seance in my living room. I'm pretty sure they opened a portal to hell in my house because immediately after, I'm laughing at that. Like, that's not the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life. Immediately after, we started experiencing more sinister things. I'm pretty sure my youngest daughter would sometimes wake up with scratches. We would hear little girls' voices and see crouching, disfigured beings in the hallway.
Oh.
Abraham wouldn't visit me as often.
Oh, hey.
Dish time became lonely.
Oh,
She goes,
Abraham.
"That's so gnarly." She goes, "I told you I have stories." And she goes, "Okay, moving on to my story. I was working full time and going to college part time. My 3 kids were in high school. We had a plastic folding table set up in the living room where we would all sit together and do homework. The table had various school and art supplies sitting on top of it. One such supply was a large gallon plastic Ziploc bag filled to the brim with markers. One week, my husband came down with the flu. I decided that I was going to try everything I could to not catch that awful, terrible, soul-sucking virus. I thought it would be a good idea for me to sleep on the couch in the living room. I gather my pillows, blankets, and sheets and make my bed on the couch. I lay down, get all snuggled in and cozy, ready for a good night of peaceful sleep. The living room is pitch black. It's quiet. But I just keep getting this uneasy feeling that I wasn't alone. Oh, gosh. After a while, I start to hear like a shuffling or shifting type noise coming from the area where the plastic folding table is set up. It was so faint, though, that I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. I try and calm my mind, calm my body, do some deep breathing and tell myself it's nothing. A few minutes go by. I hear something shift on the top of the folding table. It's slow and deliberate as it shifts, as if it's a heavy object for someone or something to move. Yes, I have cats. The cats were outside. There were no other animals in the house. Everyone else was sound asleep. I was completely alone, or so I thought. Oh, gosh. I know, I'm like, what's going to happen? I already read the story and it's still freaking me out. Oh. I'm laying there listening like, what the hell? I'm starting to freak out. My heart starts racing and I tell myself, I'm just going to roll over and face the couch instead of the openness of the living room. Maybe then it will go away. I close my eyes really tight and pretend I didn't hear anything. It didn't go away. As soon as I roll over, after what feels like forever, I hear whatever it is being pushed inch by deliberate inch to the edge of the table. My heart races faster. It pauses. The quiet in the house is deafening. Then crash. Whatever it was had been pushed and had fallen to the floor. The noise is so loud in my pitch black living room that I sit up startled. Look around to see if one of my kids were playing a trick on me, but nope, no one was there. Or no one that I could see anyway. I threw the covers off of me and stood up so fast. My heart was racing a mile a minute. I ran to my room yelling, nope, 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 nope. Not gonna happen. I don't care if I get the soul-sucking virus. I crawled into bed next to my husband, cuddled him so hard, calmed my racing heart, and went to sleep. The next morning when I woke, I went out to the living room, and on the ground next to the folding table was a large gallon-sized Ziploc bag full to the brim with the markers. I died.
Jeez. Yeah.
She goes, thanks for reading my story. I love you both dearly, aka Holly, or Holly, aka your other mother.
Oh my gosh, that was chilling. Oh God.
So I love like the play on Michaela's story where she's like, I'm pretty sure I opened a portal. And she goes, pretty sure my youngest daughter opened a portal to hell in my house.
Oh my goodness. No, that's just.
Right? You can just like hear it. It's just this little shuffle and then crash. Oh, and you're alone and it's dark. And
I think I would have turned on the lights and be like, what the hell?
Yeah. I would have turned on all the lights and been like, is there some kind of animal in my house? I say that, but I probably would have just done Holly didn't freaked out and ran away.
I know. It's easier said than done.
I would have woke everybody up is what would have happened. I would have been screaming.
Yeah. What is going on?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. One time, actually, this was like a couple, either last week or, was this last week?
Oh.
Yeah, last week. I was downstairs and I think I've told the story where there is an entity in my house. It's just, it's very polite. And you hear him walking upstairs, up and all constantly. And I heard him actually today, like a lot, like walking. And you know exactly where it is. It's my room out into the loft because like from the bathroom, that little U, because when somebody's up here walking, that's exactly what it sounds like. And I heard it today a lot, but I think it was last week or maybe the week before. Both me and my husband were downstairs and we heard like a door close up here. And like I was like, do you have the windows open? He goes, you open the windows, don't joke. And I'm like, I don't open windows. Like they just don't.
I open portals, not windows.
And I so I like slowly walked up here to look, and I'm like, all the doors were closed. So I'm like, I don't know which door it was that closed, but it was clearly a door that closed. And then I think I told this before too, where Christian like thought it was the dog upstairs and it wasn't. And he was like, no way.
Yeah.
We like both were like, that was footsteps.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's like, yeah, Dozer up there, and Dozer was like sleeping there.
So it's like slowly progressing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's gonna happen now? But it's not scary. So I'm like, hopefully my dream wasn't like a foreshadow or anything, you know?
Wow. It's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
So crazy. But oh my gosh, thank you, listeners, so much for these stories. Oh my gosh.
Please send us more. We have more even to, hopefully you listened to the last one we did of listener stories. So we do listener stories every 10 episodes. So if you have any, please send them our way. I'm excited.
Yes. Please send us. So widgetswhopodcast@gmail.com, anything and everything. As you can see, we have a very diverse, crowd. So please send us all your stories. I'd love to hear more, spooky stories, of course, but I'm also anything interesting, anything that's just crazy, even questions. You're like, what is this? Like, Michaela, and Holly, go back and listen to the How to Rid Your House of Demons.
Yeah.
And hopefully that helps you out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
But
that was great. I loved it. What a great episode. Anything else before we send that
I
out?
don't think so.
All right, perfect. Well, make sure to give us a follow on all the medias, and we will see you next week. Episodes come in every Thursday. So till next time, besitos. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media @WitchesWhoPodcast.